Good morning. I haven't understood it 100%, but I guess that I know how to access these pictures on here. There is a facility built into Trongate. It's the asset manager, and the asset manager manages everything below this assets folder. And it seems that, no, it does not seem, it is the way as it is. This facility is enabled or started in the background as soon in a URI to retrieve any type of resource, if it's addressed by giving the module's name and then add a underscore module. And this is the so-called assets trigger. And this portion here, this little string, is defined in the configuration on here, module assets trigger. Yeah, so this starts up the asset manager in the background. So if we look at how the picture gallery is able to find these pictures, and if we inspect the code, I have it open here, the inspector, and if we hover to one picture, then we see that the path, let's go from the backside. On here's the file name, and then there is the ID, the file name, and then there is the ID, these folders here, and then it goes to the subdirectory courses underscore pictures. This is also given here, but then it is looking for something like courses underscore module, but there is no folder named like this, right? There's some modules, okay, and modules for courses, and these two are combined with this asset trigger. Yeah, so asset named courses underscore module. This is this thing on here. So whenever Trongate sees a request which is passed to it, which contains this string underscore module, it knows that it needs to replace this portion on here by the name of the module slash the name of the module slash assets slash, and then continue what's afterwards listed on here. So this is the way. Yeah. I was wondering where it knows this from, that this exists actually, right? But it knows a little bit in this behavior on here. It is showing the course information based on the record number 1 with the ID 1. So it knows a little bit. So it can build itself, as the task on here is display all pictures for this row. It knows that it should assemble something like this on here. Pictures and then /1, the ID. And then it stops. But it does not know these things, right? So somewhere in the code is a simple read directory statement which uses this created path as the base directory in which it should look for files. And this read directory function, this PHP thing, right? This one here, or Scandia, I don't know which is used. Read your resource, the directory handle, and So here it's opening, yeah, it's opening something like this, and then it's reading, right? While false, it's collecting the file names. Maybe it's also filtering somewhere the dot and the dot. I've seen also that it's also filtering this Mac specific files, DS store or whatever. And and these file names are then added up to an array which is fed back. Yeah. So this is how it knows that these three pictures are existing. And in a loop, it's outputting then this gallery preview things, right? Gallery preview, and it's adding up. Boom, boom, boom. This is the thing it is doing. Yeah. So now we understood it, right? Okay, how to access those, and we understood also that it's nowhere stored, this file name, yeah, because even as it has been using this database table row, the second one, you, or the first one, doesn't matter, it has not touched it while we have been uploading things. Yeah? So if you reload, it has not touched it. Yeah. However, somewhere in the documentation, there is somewhere a small hint. It's very shy. It's very shy. I think, is it here? I don't know. It's a very, very shy comment. I'm looking for loose ends. Loose ends. Uploading the picture. Loose ends. Loose ends. And then here is the shy information. So on here, it explains how to upload an image. And then it says all the time there are similar update adds a picture name to the picture value. Yeah. Yeah. So it's storing on here in the database. Yeah. So it could be stored, right? But on here, it's not doing this. Yeah. It just adds it onto here for us and let us to decide how we want to proceed. Okay. So I have recorded, and I was thinking I have recorded, so I recorded everything. What we want to do, we want to head to our application on here, and the plan is to replace this one here by something like this, these animated accordions. You will see this. For every course, we will put such a panel with an image and all of the data for it. And if we click on it, then for the next movies on here will be a registration form to this course. So the customer can then choose from read and register for it. So on here at on w3schools.com, there is this example. And we will start to put this one here in our application. So we'll go to our courses page where the table is listed. Yeah. And that we do not forget where we got this from, you will copy this and paste this one here in. So, right. So, and now we will just copy and paste. So they are doing on here some styling of this thing. We can copy this. This is good. Okay. And then on the lower side, they use a little piece of JavaScript on here, which get this element accordion and assigns an event listener, which then shows the height. So it changes the height from nothing to a specific height. Nothing. No, it's height. Okay, so we'll use this one here. There. And on here we will put one of those. This is a button with the class accordion, and then there's a panel inside. This is good. Right? So if you look on our side on here, we have something like this. This is good. Okay. We can now use our for each thing again and stop the close the for each thing. And we can replace this one here by some data from there. And we will start with the subject. Let's see on here too. Woodwork basics. And this one here. This is excellent. Okay. So on here, the registration formula form will be put. Okay. So right. Now, boom, boom. Okay. So now, as we have learned how to access these files, we need to find those. So let's move back to our controller. And we have learned all our offered courses. We are also iterating on here. And we will iterate also in the courses thing to get the file names which are assigned to this specific course. Let's make an array and we'll say course images. Okay. And no, let's start with this. For each data offered course. Oh, let's make plural of courses, right? And correct on here before we are forgetting it. Courses. Yeah. Okay. So courses as course. So and yeah, and now we will assign a new array for courses images, and we will assign, because we want to relate this one to a specific ID, we will add on here course ID, and then we'll do something. Get images of course by ID, and we'll chuck in the course ID. Right? Something like this. And now we will need, let's make it a private function, so this is not accessible by the internet with an underscore. The Trongate ensures this, and we will use this here as a function, a declaration thing, like this. Okay. Course ID. So now we need to construct for our read the directory thing, a starting directory, and we have seen these things with this courses module in the URI, but this is a URI, but on here we are on file system, so we don't need to care about this. So we will make here base dir we are looking at is the following. There is a no, I don't know, not a cut, not a variable, the constant, which defines our base directory where the project is located in. And we will add on here modules, and then we know that we are in the module courses, and we know that we need something like an assets folder, and we need to have a courses features folder, and we simply add the ID at the end, right? Oops, yeah. So, and now we can use this one here. This is a good one. This is a good one. It meets our needs. I poet. It meets our needs. So if, let's indent it once more. Another file here. And this one's closing this one here. This one's closing up this one here. Okay. Okay. And we'll put this one here. So it will start looking at this directory for all file names. And it will see the file names. And and then as a result, we will make array file name, right? And we will simply add it to this array push array file name, and then we'll put this one. Right? So it will see it. This one here, we will add on there. Okay. Then we need to return array file name. And if no files available, we will receive an empty array. Okay. And this array on here, which we have, is fed back and assigned to a variable courses images with an index of the ID. And this index on here is later used in the view file as a variable, as we are giving it here. So we should see now, if we var dump this one here, let's die view process. Okay. So let's see how many errors we will have. No error, but this is because it's the second run, right? So you have the file names on there, and this variable courses images is indexed, and this index is corresponding to this line. This is okay. So but we will not die. We will let it flow further. Okay, so what's on here? But maybe we should close our pre thing. Okay, okay, okay. So now we will add beside of it this picture, and now the asset management thing will come into the game. Let's make here break right on here. Okay, okay. I will tidy up it later that it's from left to right nicely laid out. So let's put instead of here an image, and now the source of it is the following. Now we need to echo base URL and add the module courses, but in combination of assets something, right? So now we will put courses underscore module, right? And then we will add up this courses pictures, and then we need an ID, and the ID is available here. ID and now we need the file name from here. Aha, this is the ID, but which of those we should select? Let's, this was the same thing before also. So we will use the first one, okay? So on here, and now we can access this one here, this one here. This matching ID. And we will select the first image, right? We will select the first image. Yeah, so it looks like this. Image source, base URL, courses module, courses pictures, directory name of the ID, the corresponding, and then we'll look for the file name which is stored in this courses images. Oh, wait a second, this is wrong. Courses images, like this, courses ID, and then 0, 0. Okay, and now you should see something. Oh la la, you see these pictures here. Okay, woodwork basics, and it's collapsing out. Okay, but it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. So we'll make on here image source. We put some image on here. 8. I don't know. 200 pixels. Is this too much? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, now this is because the pictures are not evenly aligned. Okay, it's now a little bit distorted, right? But they're on here like this. Okay, and we can get rid of this one here. Okay, so right. So yeah, woodwork basics, and then this picture, and then on here the descriptive things on there. Yeah, I will tidy it up, but you are getting the idea. So this is the image, and then I will replace these BRs with something like embedded diffs, which then will lay out, and then we can also echo out the subject, for example. No, the details. Okay. Stupid things. So Yeah, use file and thaw, 3D printing. Yeah, so the customer can then look at here this picture, find this data. I will put on the right side somehow. I'm not so good in CSS. I need my time. And if the customer decides to attend this, click, and on here the registration form will be put. You will see this in the next movie as we are doing submitting a form and making a database entry for it. Yeah. So okay. I hope it is not too boring for you. See you.